Look, I don't care what you sell, but if you're running a B2B business, using cold DMs to get more clients and to book more appointments is a fantastic way. The thing I love the most about using cold DMs is that they are reliable and they are predictable. If you send 100 messages and if you're using the same exact script, you know exactly how many appointments you will be getting every single time, because again, they're reliable and they're predictable. If you have an ABR in place, if you have an appointment booking rate in place, every single time you will be booking that many appointments no matter what the case is. But a lot of people, they don't understand the system of getting clients through cold DMs. And I'm not saying that this is a complicated system, not at all. Like, this is so simple. But many people, and probably you as well, they don't spend the time to understand the system fully. Your goal here isn't to find the perfect solution to a wrong question. You first need to identify the question fully, and then you can solve it. And if you're looking to identify something, you first need to understand it fully. So unless you understand the cold DM system fully, it wouldn't make sense and it cannot possibly work. Here's exactly what you need if you struggle to get clients through cold DMs. Look, I'm going to show you the exact process you should be following. I'm going to make this make sense to you. I'm going to tell you all about its logic. Then I'm going to give you a step-by-step thing you can actually follow. I'm going to give you the exact script you can actually use in your business, basically. But the first thing I want you to understand is that just like every other thing in your business, a cold DM process is a system. And a lot of people make the concept of a system way too complicated than it has to be. A system is all about having an input. So this is an input. Then this input will go through a process, and as a result of going through this process, this will give you an output plus a feedback. So in your cold DM process, your input is a random person, the information of a random person. Then this random person, has to go through a process, a cold DM process, and this can be anything. So this might be, let's say, your YouTube process, your whatever, your cold email process, cold process, like everything in your business is just a process. It's not a system. If you want to turn this into a system, you just need to understand this. A system is all about having an input, this input going through a process, and this process will give you an output plus feedback. So in this system, once again, your process is your cold DM process, and as a result of this system, your goal is to get an appointment plus feedback. Keep in mind that every single system actually works. So if your system gets you, let's say you have a stranger, this stranger goes through your cold DM process, but as a result of this process, you get nothing. So let's say you get nothing plus feedback. This system, this also works. The reason why you have a problem, well, there might be a couple of reasons, and that's why we have a system basically, and feedback. So feedback is the only way a system can basically communicate with you. It will talk about the inefficiencies, it will talk about the bottlenecks in the system. So you have to learn how to read the metrics, how to basically understand feedback, and how to use feedback for the growth of your company. So if your system isn't giving you what you actually desire, the system is just working all fine. There's a problem either with the input or with the process. And the only way you can understand where the bottleneck basically is by looking at the metrics and trying to understand the feedback. Because again, feedback is the only way a system can communicate with you. It will talk about the bottlenecks, it will talk about where you should be making improvements basically. So if you learn how to understand the system, this will make perfect sense for you. But when I say cold DM process, it isn't as simple as just sending one DM and getting an appointment. No, this has subsystems in it. So let's say, like, this will make sense to you in a second, but let's say you have a stranger. Let's say you just have the information. Let's say you have the Instagram. So you have their Instagram name, you have their email, you have their phone number. If you're looking to make cold calls, if you're looking to send a cold email, you basically have the information in the first place. You have the stranger. Then the first thing you have to do, and this is what the cold DM process basically. In the cold DM process, the first thing you have to do is to engage with this person. So you engage with that person, you engage with the stranger, and because of that, because of this engagement process, you have a stranger that is basically paying attention to you. So once you engage, once you like some posts and maybe send some comments, this person is going to see that, okay, there is this guy and he's a real human being. Once you have someone that's paying attention to you, the next thing you have to do is to send this person an opener. Your goal here is to get a engaged prospect out of this just a stranger who's just giving you attention basically. Your goal is to first make this person engage with you. And once you have someone who's engaged, now you will be sending them social proof. And once this person actually goes through your social proof sending process. By result of that, the output of this system, this subsystem of you sending social proof to an engaged prospect, as a result of this system, you will get someone who's actually trusting you. So this trusting prospect should go through a qualification, and as a result of this system, you will get a qualified prospect, and with that qualified prospect, you will send them a video to educate them, and you will have an educated prospect. And your goal here is to give them a CTA, a call to action, to make this person book an appointment with you. So you need to understand that cold DM process, or yes, this is a system, but this is not the entire thing. Just like every other system, this system also has subsystems, and these are the subsystems. So in every single step of this system, basically, so in every single subsystem, this will give you a feedback, and you have to learn how to read this feedback. So let's say you have a stranger. So the feedback you will be getting here it will not be numerical. You will not get any number. You will not know how many people are actually giving you attention. So this subsystem, this will give you a ton of feedback. And in this case, the feedback will be how many people, or what percentage of people that you are sending an opener to are being engaged, are turning into an engaged prospect. How many people are actually engaging with your opener? And I'm going to show you an opener you can use in a second. But so this is the first thing you have to keep in mind. And your goal here is to identify the bottleneck. You should understand, okay, this part, let's say this is 2%. If this is 2%, you know that there's a problem with your opener. But let's say you have a ton of engaged prospects. Now you will be sending these people a social proof. But let's say this is actually, let's say 70%. So this is 70%. But here, the people who actually are first engaging with your opener is 70%. So let's say you send 100 messages, 70 people will reply back to you. But out of these 70 people, some of these will trust you and will send you a message once you send them your social proof. So in this case, let's say this is 5%. So you can understand that, okay, there's a problem with the social proof that I'm sending to these people. So you need to fix that in this case. As you can see, like, this system is all about its subsystems. And if you're looking to identify the bottleneck, you should be looking at the metrics. But if you want to look at the metrics, now you should be keeping track, or you should make your VAs keep track of every single number. In cold emails, like, it's super simple, because let's say you're doing a instantly or a Lemlist campaign. In that case, you'll be getting metrics by the system itself. So the code that you're using, it might be Lemlist, it might be instantly, but that code, that website, it will give you metrics. So it will talk about your open rate, it will talk about your response rate, and out of these metrics, you can understand your positive response rate, you can get your negative response rate, you can get your appointment booking rate. Like, these websites, they will be giving you a ton of metrics for you to improve. Basically, the reason why you're given these metrics is because that this system this wants to talk with you. This wants you to improve it, basically. And the only way you can improve a system is by looking at the metrics, understanding your KPIs, key performance indicator. Because let's say in your system, in your cold DM process, in your entire system, you have a 5% appointment booking rate, which is phenomenal. Like, this is great. But if your open rate, or if you're like, for this system, if your rate is 2%, it doesn't matter. Like, this can be the case, but you get the point. If one metric is shit, but if your KPI is on point, and in this system again, in probably any of cold outreach systems, your KPI is your appointment booking rate. And this goes for anything else. So let's say you are posting a YouTube video. The CTR, the click-through rate of your YouTube video, could be 1%. But if that video has a 10% appointment booking rate, you shouldn't change anything about that video, because that video is already doing well. And if you change something in a system, that can negatively affect the entire thing, and you wouldn't know it. In your cold DM process, you should first engage. And once you engage, you should be sending these people an opener. And once these people engage with that, you should send them a social proof. Then you should be doing qualification. And once these people are actually qualified, and by qualification, you need to qualify that these people actually have the problem that you're solving. And once you understand that, you should be sending these people a video to solve their exact specific problem. And once these people are fully educated on your exact solution, your offer, Now you can hit these people with a call to action to make these people book a call with you. This isn't about just sending one DM and making these people book a call with you. It wouldn't work. Like, your first message cannot be, look man, we do this for these people, would you like to book an appointment? It wouldn't work. Especially in this current marketplace, it just wouldn't work. It doesn't make sense. You yourself, you wouldn't buy a high ticket package from someone just because you saw one of their DMs. It doesn't work that way. And because, like, the only reason why you're doing this is because some guru online are just telling you to send this, use this opener, send this message, and just make these people book a call with you, send the appointment, nothing else. Like, sell the appointment, nothing else. Doesn't work. Yes, you can try doing that, but it doesn't work. Your goal here is to actually build a relationship with that person and make that person trust you. And the only way you can make someone trust you is by solving a problem of that person. You know how I told you Lemlist will be giving you feedback automatically? Well, this is because of something that we call as leverage. Lemlist, or using a code, has a ton more leverage than leveraging a human being, leveraging a VA, for example. A code will always have more leverage than the VA you're leveraging. So in your cold DM process, your goal here, your main goal, is to be using leverage, because if you have leverage in your system, in your processes, like, everything will be a lot more easier. Leverage will be giving you the power for you to get more by doing less. It will increase your output per your input, because again, in every single system, you have an input and you have an output. If your output is shit, using leverage will be just giving you more shit. It will amplify it. But if your output is something that's great, using leverage will give you more of that great thing. So keep in mind that if you have a system that's working, you can increase the volume by using leverage. And by, like, if you introduce leverage into your systems, everything will be so much more profitable for you. But if you want to leverage, and if you want to leverage code, if you want to use leverage, you first need to have a system that's actually working. Because again, if you leverage shit, it will just give you more shit. Your goal here is to be leveraging a system that's giving you the exact thing that you desire. For your cold DM process, you can use the website colddms.com. This is a software that will enable you to just send a bunch more DMs. And if you don't want to do anything yourself, then you can hire a VA and you can train that VA to understand the software, so that you have a person, a VA, who's leveraging code for you. So at the same time, you're leveraging a person, then a code. And that's very powerful. But let me actually give you what you desire, which is the script itself. To be clear, I'm not gonna give you the entire thing, because this is something that I'm giving to my clients, and like, I don't want the entire marketplace to be using the same exact thing. But just keep in mind, I'm just gonna give you the first part, the opener, and then so first I'm gonna show you how you first get the leads. For Facebook, we will be leveraging communities, and especially the paid communities, because here's the thing. There is already someone out there who has your ideal client as an audience. For example, if you're targeting B2B businesses, Alex Hormozi has 1 million of them following him. So if you just go to the followers list of Hormozi, you will get 1 million leads. Like, it is that simple. So there is someone who has collected our ideal client into a community, and all you have to do is to go into that community and basically connect with those people. Communities with the least amount of competition on your end are the paid communities. By a paid community, I mean those gurus, those people who has your audience, they will be selling, for example, an ebook or a course for $97. So these people, these gurus, they will collect these people into a community. So if you enter that community as, let's say, you're targeting realtors and there's someone who is selling an ebook to a realtor for $50, for example. If you enter this community by paying $50, and if this community gets you, for example, 2 clients at high ticket prices, you will make an ROI easily. So keep that in mind. This is something you can do. So keep in mind that leveraging communities on Facebook, especially leveraging the paid communities, is probably the best way to basically find people for your DM process. Because unless you put a high quality people into this system, it wouldn't make sense. If you put garbage into this system, you will only get garbage out. So your input is just so valuable. You need to be putting high quality people into this system, and as a result of that, if you have a solid process in place, this will give you solid appointments. And by solid appointment, I mean you should be booking appointments with people who can actually afford what you're selling, because if not, it wouldn't make any sense. On Facebook, the first thing you have to do is to be adding these people, because unless you add them, your message will directly go to spam, and you wouldn't want that to happen. So you first add these people, and the first way is that you go to members, then you go to members with something in common, then you can add those people, or you can, so someone will be posting something into this community, and you can look at the comments and add those people. And that is probably the best way. Start a DM conversation in Facebook especially. So you add these people, you like some of their posts, you comment something, but comment like a real person. Don't just send them some emojis, but send them something that's actually valuable as a comment. After Facebook, we have Instagram. And on Instagram, I don't think you should be using hashtags any longer. The best way is probably going under influencers. Just like I told you, Hormozi has 1 million B2B businesses in his account. And if you go, like, Hormozi has every single B2B, like every single, but the people who follow Hormozi could be, like, one person can run a testing business, the other one would be a consulting business, the other one would be an agency. If you find an influencer, like if you find a more niche influencer, for example, if you're looking to target agency owners instead of B2B businesses, but if you go specific and target agency owners, you can do either Iman Gaji or maybe Charlie Morgan, Joel Kaplan, like these people. They are more specific. If you can find a niche influencer and look at his followers list, this will give you a shit ton of leads for you to reach out to. So again, you go to their account, you give them a follow, you engage, you like some post, and you give them a real comment under one of their posts, basically. The thing is, this will give you a shit ton of leads. Now, you need to qualify them, because you don't want to work with every single person under the sun. You want to work with people, especially if you're selling something high ticket, which you should be. You should be qualifying these people before you send them a message. So here's what you do to qualify them. The first thing you have to ask yourself is, do they have a description in their profile about their business, which a lot of them probably will have? Do they have a business page tagged on their profile? Do they put out content about their solution? And have they been in this business for 1 to 2 years, or preferably more than that? If you have someone who is basically qualified before you send them a message, you have two options once again. You first can give them a bait. So one bait that worked wonderfully was you ask them, is this a good place for a question? Or you can ask something about their solution. For example, if you're targeting med spas, you can ask something about one of like Botox treatment, something like that. Like you can ask a price like that, or you can say, are you looking to get more clients? Something like that. I wouldn't say that's the best way. The best way is most probably the second option, which is this one. So this is what you send as the opener. Once you have someone, so you have a stranger, you engage with them, you get their attention initially, then you will be sending them an opener to get them engaged. And after that, you will be sending them social proof, you will qualify them, you will send them a video, and then you will hit them with a call to action for them to book a call with you and get an appointment. Here is something you can use if you're basically targeting online businesses. Hey, quick question. I see that you're running whatever their situation is, you're running a SaaS business, you're running an e-com agency. What is the ideal sub niche that you get the best results for? This is if you see someone who's basically running an online business. Or you can use this one. I wouldn't suggest you to use this one, because again, in local business, the dynamics are quite different. If you are targeting local businesses, the best thing to do is probably giving them a bait, because if you ask this person a question just like that, they wouldn't be able to answer that. So if you ask a realtor, what channels are you using to get more clients, they wouldn't probably answer you, because they don't have a channel. They don't know what channel is. They don't have that lingo. They're just getting clients from word of mouth. So for local businesses, using a bait is probably the best option. But if you're targeting online businesses, if you're targeting people who actually understand this online game, who actually understand some complex business topics, and who basically spend more time online, because your goal here is to book an appointment at the end of the day. Your goal here isn't to start a conversation. Your goal here, first provide a value, then book an appointment. But this is something you can use for the opener. Again, I cannot show you the entire thing because there are people who pay a bunch of money for these stuff, and again, it wouldn't be fair for me to basically share all of this. If you want this, you can just book an appointment from the link in the description. And yeah, keep in mind that your cold DM process isn't just one system. It is made up of a bunch of subsystems. You first need to engage with that person. You need to send them an opener, you need to send them a social proof, you need to qualify them, you need to be sending them videos and solve their problems. Then you can hit that person with a call to action to make that and to turn that into an appointment basically. And if you have this system in place, the entire thing in place, I promise you nothing can stop you. And the only way to get the entire thing is by looking at the feedback, because again, feedback is the only way a system can communicate with you. A system will have a bunch of problems, and the only way you can understand and fix those problems is by listening to the feedback, listening to the metrics. So yeah, thanks for watching till the end. I hope this was valuable. I hope you got something from it. Have a good day, have a great day, and yeah, bye.